Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil and it's time to talk Taskmaster. I'm psyched. Season 15, Series 15 has been so much fun so far. The contestants have really warmed up to the competition. There's a lot of gameplay happening in the theater while Greg's judging. I really appreciate that. They're pointing out the flaws in each other's work. And I've mentioned it before. One of my favorite things about this series is I don't have a favorite. Normally, by about episode 2 or 3, there's somebody who just really appeals to me, and they're my horse in the race. And often, there's somebody who kind of rubs me the wrong way, and I really don't want to see them do well. This season is not like that at all. This series, everybody's got something really entertaining about them. They're all a lot of fun to watch. And I don't recall ever being in this position where I don't know who I want to win. I just know I'm having fun with all of them. And it's a really diverse group of personalities. Yeah, I'm just really, really enjoying it. So let's jump into it, shall we, guys? This is episode 5 of Series 15 of Taskmaster.
Brace, brace!
Brace, brace! Old Honkfoot.
I'm Greg Davies and I have a secret to tell you. It's a fat suit, you fool. Beneath the suit, I am hench, ripped, tight, piercing blue eyes and soft, sun-bronzed skin. My real name? Juan Monroe III. He thinks that former heavyweight world champion boxer Anthony Joshua lost his title because of cowardice. And I quote, "If I ever meet him at a TV event, I'm going to teach that pussy to dance."
I remember saying that.
You were out.
Hello. Hello, everyone. I've got the agenda for the show, so we all know what's happening. Same as normal. Prize task, 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 task. Stretching task. Optional wink, so we're ready. And this week you asked them to bring in the luckiest thing. Ooh, I'm
lucky.
Such a lucky thing sitting next to you.
But the luckiest lad in the land is this little chap. Look at him! He's mine! Well, he's obviously not mine from my vagina, because my vagina's quite old. No, this is my grandson.
So is he the prize?
What's the prize that's being offered up? Because
That photo, me and the lad.
Yeah.
I'll put
It's a
it in
lucky photo?
frame.
Frankie, can you beat a baby?
Horrified at the tone you've set, right? I have brought in a bag that was left at a theatre for me by a fan.
It's art.
They've managed to incorporate my daughter's dog and my crow friend, Arnold Bartleby.
Who the hell is Arnold Bartleby?
Have you got a crow friend?
I do. Oh, okay. He enjoys ham.
Okay. So you're a superstitious man.
I'm very superstitious.
My God, I would have bet the lives of 1,000 crows you would. Kiell.
This is a scratch card bought by the luckiest woman in Britain.
Jolene Stanley.
Why is she the luckiest?
She won £70,000 worth of prizes since her first competition entry in 2012. She is Britain's luckiest woman. She's also the woman in Britain who does the most competitions.
I'm worried you're going to dismiss this with a wry comment.
A rye?
Probably.
Yeah,
I better get my rye face ready.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. We've done this a few times.
The rabbit's foot, to be a lucky rabbit's foot, it must be a left hind foot.
That's correct.
The rabbit needs to be captured or killed in a... Where was it captured or killed? A
Cemetery.
A cemetery, yes, good.
I don't want to be pedantic here.
Yeah, you do.
They've been fused onto the one thing that isn't lucky.
Well, last episode, Frankie got a lot of points for putting a load of random guff on a graduation hat. So I've put a load of random guff on a graduation hat. Former Manchester United footballer Steve Bruce, who's brought me a lot of luck in my career.
How so?
Because he wrote some excruciatingly bad detective novels in the late 90s, and I've reviewed them on podcasts for a small fee.
Several things glued onto a hat that has no reputation for luckiness.
Well, after every bad gig, I would call up my parents, and my dad would say, well, you're lucky you've got your degree. So, I would say...
I do really like Frankie's tote bag, but I can't leave a baby down the bottom of my toe.
No, you can't.
I think I'm going to.
I'm literally livid.
May's lucky glasses take the 4 points because
Okay.
I think Kiell's made a real effort for the first time ever.
We're doing miniatures? What are we doing?
Everything right?
I think so. This looks different.
Yeah.
This one's made out of baby bells on it.
I would really like to do well on a task with this kind of paper.
Oh, his is so dirty. Why is his
Fake something.
different?
Best fake wins.
These are all fake
You have 20 minutes.
Taskmaster
Ready.
tasks. Okay.
Steady. Go.
The best fake.
Oh, got to start now.
Heart attack.
On my right arm.
No, it's the left. It's the left.
It's going to get sticky.
Oh God, I think I'm dying.
Perfect.
What is Kiell doing?
I faked to death.
Oh, phew.
Yes, we got that.
Would you like me to bring you an egg?
Yes, please.
What are you?
Oh, just on my nose.
Happy?
Happy.
I was wondering what he was up to. It's not a great hand, but
And within 30 seconds, I was finding myself going, just die!
Are you a fan of the ancient Egyptians?
of course.
I am.
Select a hieroglyph.
Welcome to ancient Egypt.
Okay. He's a mummy. Not a great one.
What's your name?
Imhotep?
Oh, we're dead. Not even going to woo anymore? Is your time up, Ivo?
What do you think?
I love it fun being involved in this task.
Nicely done, Ivo. Nicely done.
When the mummy first came in, I actually out loud whispered to myself, heartbreaking.
The greatest privilege of my life to sit here and watch your heart be put back together by my twist.
I do feel complete.
Oh, this show. So much fun.
Good evening and welcome to Crossing to the Other Side with May Martin.
Is she gonna be a medium?
So I'm getting an older male figure, like a teacher figure. Is that ringing any bells?
I did have teachers.
So I'm getting Adrian.
Well, genuinely, his real name was Adrian R.
Okay, and has he passed?
I hope not.
You might want to send him an email.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Is there a significance of, like, I want to say Tim and Jim? Like a Dot and Scott?
Yeah. Horace and Boris?
Horace and Boris.
Everyone counts.
And they've passed.
Oh, a long time ago.
He's very frustrated with me.
Oh,
Yeah. He's like telling me something about George Clooney.
my cat?
Yeah. Fantastic Mr. Fox is what I'm getting.
Ah, well, I've seen that. I used to have a toy fox.
This is the frustration I'm getting from Horace.
What, that I loved the fox more than the cat?
Yeah.
Well, thank you for the toy.
He's like genuinely delighted
Do
here.
you have any money? I charge £60.
£60.
I'll take 40.
They were faking it, I discovered afterwards.
What, you mean May's not a real medium?
In the lab, I was freaked out because everything they said was true.
I've been I rang
I
his wife.
stalk you.
I've kept in touch with your wife.
Very clever.
It was horrible to be on that.
Very enjoyable.
In a sense,
Is he faking
no one
a
is to
suicide?
blame for this. In another, realer sense, the British security services and the creative team behind the Antiques Roadshow are to blame.
This is so dark.
Like me, Jenny, your body is so much more shocking than your suicide could ever be.
We surprised a few joggers.
Oh, man. You know, were Jenny's fakes really good?
No!
What if I give them both 2 points down the bottom?
So Jenny and Kiell both get 2
Well,
points.
he's being generous today.
I'm going to give Ivo 4 points.
Ooh, right.
I'm going to give May 4 points as well.
Right.
2,
2, 2, 4, 4, 5 points.
There you
Frankie.
go.
Okay. What? Okay, it's just musical instruments, but what is this about? Oh, one-man banding it. So do they have to take light cues? Is that what this is about?
I've lost my bells and I've displaced my...
Play the instrument indicated by the light.
Yeah.
Each time you play an instrument correctly, another will be added to the sequence until you make a mistake.
Longest sequence
It's
wins.
Simon. It's one-man band Simon.
What the fuck is that?
It's a harmonica.
I thought it was a sofa.
Yes. Doesn't look like a sofa. It looks like a municipal building. Yeah. She's so delighted.
Sounding good.
Is this like an Alzheimer's test?
Correct. Congratulations.
Okay, so far so good.
That's correct, Jenny.
Come on, Ivo. No! Ivo's out.
Yeah, I've got a horrible feeling that I got that wrong.
Yeah. Well, Jenny doesn't have Alzheimer's, but Ivo might. No. Oh,
You missed one.
I didn't!
you did.
Did?
Oh.
A sad little walk away from old Honkfoot Eclair.
Still better than Ivo.
Oh, really?
Don't say it like that.
I'm sorry, I thought we'd been grouped together as equal failures, but it turned out I'd found still a new depth.
I feel like Dick Van Dyke.
You look like Dick Van Dyke. In are you ready?
Yeah.
Moving on.
It's sounding lovely.
I'm seeing now how it's gonna get stressful.
I have to look at my feet every time.
Okay. We got 6.
Correct.
Okay. So Kiell either crushed this or... No. Yeah. Yeah. No. All right. So either Kiell crushed this or he failed miserably, and he looks confident on stage. Not a flattering camera angle. Oh.
Shit.
Bang.
Correct, and so we go on.
He's crushing it. Jeez, Kiell. His harmonica no longer works. Oh. I want to see how far he can go. Oh! Bang, though. Impressive.
Thank you, you finished.
Like 13, 14?
How many did he get?
15.
15.
I mean, oh, I'm really sorry. There are 2 Kiell clips, and I think I played
I'm gonna fucking kick off, Alex.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. No!
Go on, give us another go.
You want to keep going? So you can go further? Yeah. We gave him quite a few other goes.
Oh
We
no.
were in there for 45 minutes. May and Frankie joint first, 5 points each.
Oh. What a tease of a reveal. Lots of silver spoons. What on earth? What the heck?
Salvage the most spoons.
Oh, okay. So
Leave the lab, and all spoons must be salvaged with a magnet.
Your salvager must not remove their headwear.
oh no.
Most salvaged spoons brought to the lab wins.
You must speak in a very high-pitched voice.
You have 16 minutes.
Your time starts now. He has a magnet. Good luck.
Is it in his hand? Oh, it's okay. It's on a string. Magnet on a string. Oh. Okay.
I think you instantly became the weird children from The Shining.
Come play with us.
Okay, look around for spoons.
I can't look.
Yeah.
There's a spoon on top of the blue bin.
I
Yeah.
don't know where the blue bin is.
You're so close.
No. That. Yay.
We're gonna have to work out a better system than this.
I think you should get on your hands and knees and crawl. By the bathtub.
I don't know where the bathtub is.
Rope in the grass.
We're in the grass.
I gotta feel Frankie and Ivo are gonna do this more efficiently.
You need to sort of be in the middle of the grass. If you can imagine it.
Okay, you have 5 minutes.
I think you should come back to the house.
We're running out of time.
Yeah, Kiell, you have to come and find us in the lab.
You guys have got to chat about this blindfolded word.
Kiell, you have to come back to the house.
If you told me where the house was, yeah.
Wait, you gotta go around that.
Around which way?
They are not good at this. Why are they so bad at this?
Feel your way.
I've stopped listening to both of you.
No. I mean, they were moderately helpful, but way too many visual cues.
May was leading the way with an attempt at instruction, and Jenny was just going, yes, that's right!
I was doing a lot of the work as well. He stumbled upon quite a few of the spoons. They got a total of 9.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he got back to the lab with a minute to spare.
I feel like Ivo and Frankie will think the same enough that they can do pretty well at this. Plus, I also think, again, the team of 2 has an advantage over the team of 3. Fewer cooks.
They've blinded me, Frankie. Only you can lead me to the spoons.
You're about to walk into the bath at knee height and hurt your shins.
Keep going.
On the left edge or the right ledge?
Both edges.
Yo! Frankie, I've got a spoon.
Does Ivo need to do the high-pitched voice?
You know you don't need to speak in this voice.
Yeah.
Do a 360. Foot in front of you. You're right over
Yes! We go again.
He's sticking with the high-pitched voice.
Forward. Forward.
Yeah, this seems to be going pretty well. Oh, 3 right there.
A treasure trove of 3 spoons.
Frankie, lead me to the kitchen, where there'll be the most spoons.
Keep going forward then. Go forward.
Oh. We're gonna run out of time. We're running out of time.
It's a tour.
Well done.
It's a tour.
How much time have we got? We've got to get to that kitchen.
Oh, crap.
You've had 15.5 minutes.
Of how many?
All the information's on the task.
16.
How many minutes?
Time's
We've done the whole
a-wasting.
task. We've had-
Really?
I think we're nearly done.
Come into the lab then.
But
How?
Frankie, what about the kitchen spoons?
No, forget the kitchen spoons. Hurry.
Desperately, quickly.
Hurry.
It doesn't matter if you hurt yourself, Ivo.
No. Oh, we're in the kitchen. No.
You greedy bastard.
Oh. Time management.
Where to start with this Shakespearean tragedy? It's worth pointing out that Ivo didn't have to do the high-pitched voice.
You'll notice it disappeared immediately as I started to panic about the time pressure.
Did you start to panic about the time pressure, Ivo, or did you go into the kitchen? When I'd expressly told you not to.
They did gather 22 spoons. They were a great team.
We're both going to lose this episode, and someone is going to go up there and win 70 grand on a fucking scratch.
Jenny, Kiell, and May all get 5 points each.
Them's the rules. Oh, heartbreaking. That's the kind of task that swings the whole series. What do we have here? Oh, two gents
A little
and
stretch.
fishing waders.
Why not?
It's another team task.
Stuff all these things in your teammate's outfit.
All of them.
What I would say is you don't have to put in the trolley. Everything but the trolley. Okay.
Unbuckle the belt. Like, get it as wide as possible.
I like to wiggle like that.
Yeah.
I think so. It seems provocative.
Yeah, pop them. It's a big birthday card. This feels like one of the few tasks where the team of three should have an advantage. Oh no, we're losing things. Is everything in, would you say?
Well, Frankie, would you mind reading out the second? This is a first for Taskmaster. This is the second part for just one of the teams.
Oh.
See how many things you stuffed in your teammate's outfit. If you're correct, your points are doubled. If you're wrong, the other team gets your points.
Yes, so the winning team, which is the team of three, have 1 minute to tell me how many things they stuffed inside Kiell's outfit.
Oh no.
If they're exactly right, they will get 10 points each. If they're wrong,
whoa,
the team of two will get 5 points each.
That's Can we take things out of his
6, 7,
get it all out. Get it all out.
20, 25,
This is like stress counting.
28.
This is crazy.
You need an answer, team of three.
I can't say it out loud.
Go with your instinct.
29.
Please show them the birthday card.
Happy 29th birthday. Happy 30th.
You love to see it.
It's 29!
Wow. So they just got 10 points each. That is a series changer. Wow. Or the other team gets 5.
It's not been a good last 15 minutes for the team of two, scoring-wise.
No.
15 points to these in the last two tasks and 0 to these. So Ivo is now rock bottom in the series on 63, Frankie on 69, Kiell on 76, May 87, Jenny 88.
Oh, Jenny's in the series lead.
That is terrible news to receive with a toilet brush up your shirt.
And this May Martin wins it with 28 points!
Wow. Lucky. We're gonna have to learn how that scratch card did. Oh, we're scratching it right here. If it's a winner. No, nothing. Oh, possible wink. That was a really fun episode, like every episode this series so far, but that last 15 minutes is going to... I can tell it's going to be controversial in the comments already. People are going to have very polarized views on what just happened. Not so much with the magnet and the spoon task, where that was unfortunately just poor time management on Ivo and Frankie's part. Neither of them had a good enough eye on the clock. Well, obviously Ivo didn't have an eye on the clock, but he was getting regular updates from Alex, and he didn't give himself enough time to get back to the lab. And Frankie just wasn't paying attention. Ivo gave Frankie a convenient excuse by veering into the kitchen because he had this insight that he could go to the cutlery drawer. But when there's 10 seconds left, man, in any case, what really will make this episode controversial, I think for a long time, is that final task. A task where there's a 50-50, well, there's a solid chance of a 10-point swing where one team gets 10 and one team gets nothing. That's built into the design of the task. And no matter what the outcome of the task, there was either going to be scored 5-0 for one team or 10-0 for the other. So it's a task designed to be a big swing. And I'm not sure how I feel about that. It makes it incredibly important in the grand scheme of things. Suddenly, the team of three are the top 3 people in the standings. And there's a big gap between Jenny in the lead and Ivo bringing up the rear at this point. And crazily, Ivo, who's already won 2 episodes, is the one bringing up the rear because his last 2 episodes have sucked. He's had some bad luck and some bad performances. Kudos to May for getting the number of objects correct, 29. That's genuinely impressive. That's in super stressful circumstances. But yeah, how do you guys feel about this? I don't know how I feel about it. I honestly don't. I think a lot of it will depend on how the series ends up. If the series ends up, I mean, often the series is close. And often the series, like I go back to series 1, for instance, where Josh Widdicombe won by a single point. And that single point happened to be the single bonus point that he was given for being forced to do all the individual counting tasks that no one else had to do. But that's not the single point. The single point could be pointed to any singular task where he was scored a point higher than anyone else. It's easy to attribute it to that bonus point. But all points are equal. This final task could be the one that people gravitate to and say, that's the reason Jenny won the series. Or that's the reason May won the series. I don't think Kiell's going to win the series. But he's pulled himself back into contention, at least, this episode. But it will all ultimately come down to who wins and how close it is. We may be forgetting about this final task by the time we're in episode 10, because suddenly it's down to Frankie and Ivo on the final day. Who knows? There's plenty of the show to still to come. But let's go through the tasks, shall we? Prize task: bring in the luckiest thing. I really like how these contestants are doing the prize tasks this series. I think there's a lot of imagination. I think there's a lot of running themes. Like Frankie keeps returning to paintings and art. This time it happened to be a lucky painted bag, but it's still a painting. May seems to be doing a lot of eyewear, headwear. I like that Greg wasn't afraid to score Jenny down in this task because she didn't bring in a prize. She brought in a photo. And yeah, sure, she could frame it if you want. But no, I mean, bring in the baby and then we've got something to talk about. And possible criminal charges. But remember what you're doing. You're bringing in a prize. You're not just bringing in the lucky thing. I really like the way Kiell played this one because, sure, you could bring in a bunch of scratch cards, and some would argue that's on the whole quite unlucky. But if they're bought by the luckiest person in England, then that's a cool modifier that really elevates you. I think he deserved to win. So I'm quite happy with how that one was scored. Was it one man band next, or am I missing? Next task: fake something, fake anything. You've got 20 minutes. I wish Jenny had put a little more thought into it, but she immediately went to faking a heart attack. Fair enough, but not super imaginative, especially when there were 3 really strong contenders in this task. I love the twist on Ivo's. It starts off by feeling underwhelming, to say the least. He comes back in faking a mummy, but no, he faked himself. Alex was like genuinely surprised when Ivo stuck his head in at the end there, revealing that whoever it wasn't him. That was really well played, and for a lot of runs of this task, it would have been an easy win. He just happened to be up against 2 other really strong performances. In May's pilot of a fake medium show, where she genuinely, like, here's how convinced I was, or I'm not saying I wouldn't say I was convinced, but I thought she was being vague enough that she could just be doing random guessing and getting a little bit lucky. But no, She had some insider info. Sorry, they had some insider info and played it really, really well. I was impressed with that. And they could have won this task 9 times out of 10. Except they were up against another really strong performance in Frankie's really dark fake suicide with, thank goodness, a really fun twist at the end. Because if you didn't get that last 5 seconds of him crawling out of the river on the other side and running away, it would have had a much different tone. But I have 2 thoughts. One, did Frankie literally swim across the Thames in his underwear and his trainers? Because if he did, kudos. And like, how clean is the Thames? I can't imagine it's the cleanest waterway in the world. But that's what he did. Maybe. Or maybe he just got in the water on the other side. I don't know. And I feel like there's a story about why he blamed the creators of Antiques Roadshow, and I forget what the organization was. Was it the British Secret Service, or was it something else similar? I forget exactly what it was, but I feel like there's a story there. Oh, by the way, he's got a crow friend that he's named. Unironically, I need to learn more about Frankie Boyle. The more I see of him, the more I'm fascinated and intrigued. So yeah, Jenny and Kiell in this task had the misfortune of going up against 3 really strong performances. And I would have been fine if any of the other 3 were given the win. Frankie being given it, totally fine with that. Then we had our one-man band Simon competition. I'm old enough to remember a toy, and it was called Simon. This is why I'm referring to it. I'm assuming it was in the UK, but if it wasn't, it was simple. It was a circular toy. It had 4 big buttons on it, each one a different color, and they would light up in a sequence, and it would be 1 and then 2 and then 3, and it was always the same sequence, just adding 1 at the end, and you had to remember, and it got faster as it went, and you'd see how good your memory was. It was a classic 80s toy. And that's what this was. This was one-man band Simon. It's a harder set of memorization than just which button in which order, because there's a lot more spatial memory in a button pushing sequence. This is an uncoordinated, like it's not natural movements, shaking one foot and stomping the other and swinging your elbow to hit a drum and blowing on a harmonica. There's less rhythm to it. And therefore it's harder to memorize. I was really impressed when Kiell got 15. And that was some dirty editing to reveal that, no, actually he only got 5. I'd like to think I've got a good memory. I like to think I could get to 9. But because it's so arrhythmical, because it's so unnatural, I could see you're trying so hard to memorize each one that unless you've got a mnemonic that helps you remember, your chances of making a misstep are really high pretty early on. So I think 9 would be a really solid goal to aim for, but I'm not sure I could reach it. I'd like to think I could beat 5 or 6, but again, based on the evidence, that's not necessarily the case. Then we had our team task. I like the setup. I love when the show comes up with these sorts of things, like making somebody else your eyes. And again, it's not just feeling around with your hands. You've got to pick them up with the magnet. So again, we're just making things unnatural, uncomfortable, weird. Why not have the person who's being the eyes raised there, do a high-pitched voice the whole time too, just to make it a little annoying and somewhat funny. Let's put everybody out of their comfort zone. I really dig it. And well, Jenny and May were terrible. Well, no, they weren't terrible, but they weren't good at giving good directions. They were using way too many visual clues when they were talking to Kiell, as opposed to just saying, turn left 45 degrees, step forward, take 4 steps, all of these sorts of, like, it's easy to manipulate someone to go where you need them to go if you see through their eyes. But instead they're just going, oh, you go to the bathtub, turn around, go to the door, come inside now. Not ideal, but what they were really good at was realizing they needed some time to get back to the lab. And maybe they left some spoons on the table, so to speak, but they made it back with time to spare, and they ended up winning because they were smart with their time management. Frankie and Ivo got greedy. Like, when Alex told them they had 30 seconds left, and neither of them seemed to realize how urgent that was. The message finally got through, but at that point, maybe there were 20 seconds left, and Ivo's still out by the dome, and instead of like rushing inside, he's still trying to pick up spoons by the side of the house, and then he gets inside, and he might have just made it into the lab in time. But he turned into the kitchen. Like, why? I don't get it. But I'm not letting Frankie off the hook either, because presumably he's got a running clock in view while he's in the lab, and he seemed oblivious to that fact. So unfortunately, they get disqualified, and then the task becomes a 5-point swing, followed up by an even bigger swing, because then we go to the live task, and stuff everything into one teammate's fishing waders. Now, normally I say with team tasks, the team of 2 has a better chance than the team of 3. Generally speaking, communication's better. The too many cooks in the kitchen thing, I think, really applies in many tasks. And without good communication, teams of 3 are often acting at cross purposes. But this final task, I think, actually helps if you were the team of 3. Because you've got 2 people stuffing stuff in Kiell's pants. That simple. In his trousers, in his waders. Sorry, pants doesn't make sense, but you know what I mean. North American pants. But it's not a complicated first half of the task. It's get everything in the waders. And having an extra set of hands really helps. So it's not surprising that Jenny and May won the first half of the task. But I think the producers realized that there is a proper advantage for the team of 3. And that's why they put the second half of the task in there. How many things did you put in? Put it on the winner to get the number right. And that's not a 50-50 proposition, I would argue. I think it's much more likely you're going to get that wrong than get it right, because you had 1 minute to basically get everything out of the waders, count them correctly. Now you've got 2 people counting, and that can be problematic. That's where you'd rather be the team of 2 as opposed to the team of 3. And if you're off by a single thing, something gets stuck deep in the waders and it doesn't come out for the count, or they popped a balloon and it's in 2 pieces. You count both of those by accident. Who knows? But they did a really solid job and they got it right. But I would put the odds of getting 29 on the nose 1 in 4-ish. That feels about right. I think it's less than a 50-50. And that means they double their points. They get 10 and the other team gets 0. And that's just a huge swing. And we've already talked about this. I don't know how I feel about that. They had a lot on the line. It could have, like, if May said 28 or 30, then suddenly we're talking a completely different thing, because Frankie and Ivo get 5 and they get nothing. It's a 15-point swing on one guess. And I feel like that's just too, when the final score of the winner is going to be somewhere between 140 and 170, 15 point swing, that's 10% of your total score. So that's an entire episode worth of points on a single task, a single guess. It feels too much. So I don't know how you remedy that with a task like this, unless you say, I don't know. Like maybe if you win the first, like if you win the first half of the task, if you're the quicker waiter stuffer, you get 2 points. And then if you guess right, you get 3 more. And if you guess wrong, those 3 go to the other team. That feels like, okay, now we're talking either 5-0 or 2-3. That feels like less of a swing, obviously. Not insignificant, but still, it feels more in the norm. I don't know. Again, we may be forgetting about this. If someone either runs away with the rest of the competition, or Frankie and Ivo pull themselves right back into contention. But if they never recover over the back half of the season, I think we'll be pointing to this moment and saying it was all over for them at that point. Because Ivo's already 22, 23 points behind Jenny after just 5 episodes. We've seen lots happen on this show. Lots of points made up. I don't think anyone's really incompetent this series. There's no David Baddiel. There's no John Kearns who you just don't see a path to get themselves back into competition. I feel like everyone on this series is capable of a lucky run. So I guess it's ultimately a wait and see, but I'd love to hear what you guys think. How do you guys feel about that last task? And now that the seriousness of the analysis is over, let me just say how much fun this episode was. This episode has been just like every other episode this series. Like, they've all been strong. They've all been funny. There have been really great creative moments. There have been some proper wow moments that just sort of catch you completely by surprise. I'm loving this series. I'm having so much fun with it. I hope you guys are too. Thank you so much for spending a little time with me here today on Neil Talks. It means the world to me. And until next time, everybody, take care, stay healthy. We'll see you soon. Cheers.